Welcome back. This is still Breakfast Daily, and it's a Friday by all standards. And of course, we want to hear from you. Do you have birthday dedications? We want to know what you have planned for the weekend. We want to hear what you have to say about the conversations that we're having right here on the show. So do send us a WhatsApp message 0550-585-832, or if you're texting us from beyond the shores of Ghana, prefix the number with the country code +233. And the hashtag Breakfast Daily is all yours. Use it across all social media platforms so that we can see you, hear you, and share your voice here on the show. Now, I have some very beautiful women in the studio. One of them is a mother. Two of them, I'm considering their friendship status. They know why, but I love them all the same. So, Nana Hima, Nana Dra a window. Nana Hima draw a window, right? We're all used to calling her Nana Dra a window. Nana Hima draw a window. She's the executive director of the Obaapa Development Foundation. And we have Edem Abigail Hunu of the UNFPA, that's the United Nations Population Fund here in Ghana. And then we have Aku Honam Kevi. There's an Everton going on here, and she's with the Purim African Youth Development Platform. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very welcome.
Beautiful you.
Yes,
Thanks for having us.
Yes, even though I'm considering my friendship and my love relationship with the UNFPA, but
The love is stronger.
It's deep.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, I know that we're here to talk about an activity that's very closely related to the International Day of the Girl Child, which is celebrated on the 11th of October every year. So just a few days ago, we commemorated it. And there are lots of conversations to have about the girl child in Ghana, on the continent of Africa. But Nana Hima, a lot of people know you as the host of Greetings from Abroad, media veteran extraordinaire. However, you're a queen mother, and you're a queen mother who has been doing a lot for communities, not just yours that you have jurisdiction over, but for communities around the country and beyond. So let's talk about the Obaapa Development Foundation. What is it, and what exactly have you been doing, within the remit of that foundation?
Thank you, Beko. So, thanks for having us, and thanks to Citi. Of course, 11th October is International Day of the Girl Child, and in Ghana, we partnered with UNFPA 10 years ago to launch it. So we are actually celebrating 10 years of the International Day of the Girl Child, and that year, fortunately for us, was also a period that we brought queen mothers from across Africa to also discuss possibility of putting together royalties and, the peripheral to form a network that came to be called African Queens and Women Culture Leaders Network, ACLIN.
African Queens and Women Cultural Leaders Network.
Yeah, ACLIN. And it was actually born in Ghana, but it's now a regional body. And so we have a lot of history coming from the International Day of the Girl Child. And this was a very good partnership with UNFPA 10 years ago. So 10 years down the lane, what has happened? Obaapa Development Foundation is an NGO in Ghana that came out from passion of, working with community, working with traditional rulers over the years, that we decided to wean it away from Premier Productions, which was the social responsibility wing of our company. And we started working with women and children, developing, supporting, advancing the cause of women and children through advocacy, a lot of advocacy, and of course, program empowerment, etc., etc. That's what we've been doing for the past 10 years. And we've been working with partners like UNFPA, and this year has been amazing. And we've also partnered to do this International Day of the Girl Child. And in this particular instance, we're not just doing a one-day 11th October thing. We intentionally plan to do a week-long, and now we are even thinking of extending it beyond the week so that our information dissemination effort will be enhanced.
Wonderful. Right, so let me come to you. Now, the UNFPA, I don't think a lot of people understand. They see the orange and, you know, a lot of UN agencies, bodies do blue. But they see orange and they, oh, that's the orange UN body. You know, but I don't think a lot of people really understand your role in community and in Ghana. So let's just talk a little bit about that. What does the UNFPA do, and why would a day like the International Day of the Girl Child be important for you?
Okay, I'm wearing orange, but I'm paid.
Yeah.
So Abigail, answer that.
Because I want to be. So UNFPA, we work in a lot of communities here in Ghana through our implementing partners. So we have the government partners, and then we have the CSOs partners that we are working through to make sure, again, because we are talking about International Day of the Girl Child, so my focus is going to be about what we are doing in the communities to empower these young ones to grow up and to reach their full potential, because that's what UNFPA stands for. So we are supporting girls to increase their agency. We are agency in what? Reproductive health and rights. We are giving them the life skills. We are training them on gender-based violence, or how to achieve gender equality, their role as well. We are helping them to be able to say no to sexual and gender-based violence, increase their voices, and make sure that they are able to identify what violence is, how can they, as young as they are, to prevent it, and then how they can link up to services that would help them. We are also empowering them to make sure that we know that in our communities, children are taught to just say yes. You know, we don't actually support them to say no. That whatever information you are giving them out there, if it doesn't support their growth in any way, they are supposed to say no. So we are supporting our implementing partners to do that. We are making sure that the laws and policies that we have in Ghana are gender sensitive, that they factor in the rights of our young ones. We are also engaging with men and boys through our implementing partners to understand what the rights of the children are. We are also helping them to shift their mindset. We know we live in a society that most of the men have toxic masculinities, or they exhibit that. How do we help them to shift their mindsets? We are also helping or supporting queen mothers and traditional and religious leaders. We are engaging them on issues of gender equality. What are their roles? And then we are also making sure, again, because we are talking about issues of gender-based violence, we know that most of the communities, we don't have the police over there. We don't have the domestic violence and victim support units in those communities. And even those ones that we have, most of them feel more comfortable going to the queen mothers, go to our traditional leaders and all that. Because
that's within their immediate community.
Exactly.
They are used to them.
So we are also supporting them, teaching them or engaging them, building their capacity on issues of gender equality and all that, so that when some of the cases comes to them, they know that, okay, this is a case that I don't have jurisdiction upon, that they don't have to sit around and discuss issues of rape, for instance, or issues of defilement. For instance, somebody doesn't go and take a sheep or a goat and say like, then
the case is over.
It's over. It is not over. So we build their capacity to know these issues, and then we build their capacity in advocacy skills and all that, so that even they as a people, they are able to support their subjects. Again, we focus on the girls to be able to eliminate issues of teenage pregnancy. We know Ghana is grappling with the issue of teenage pregnancy, which is actually feeding into issues of child marriage in Ghana. The recent statistics, 2021 census says that we have over 80,000 girls.
Yes, between the ages of 12 and 17.
That's sad, eh?
Yes,
so
that's
sad.
really sad. I mean, the numbers are so staggering, and you wouldn't believe that it's happening in Ghana.
It is actually happening. Again, because people think it's not happening because they don't actually, in most of the communities, don't go into a marriage ceremony where they see a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, or 11-year-old being given off to marry.
Because those ceremonies are not happening in
and they don't do it public.
They don't.
Private.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't do
again,
it
because
public.
issues of teenage pregnancy. So it's not a formal, you know, it's informal. Yeah. In the case of like cohabitation, so you are pregnant. So, okay, I sent you to school to go and learn. And then you decide to get pregnant. Yeah. As if they drank water. They didn't. You know, they actually end up having unprotected sex. That's what it means. And then like, okay, go and live with the man. And we know the age of consent in Ghana is 16 years. Right. So if somebody is below the 16 years and the person engages...
That's statutory rape.
Exactly. Are these people in prison? That's the question. Exactly. So we are working with a lot of stakeholders to make sure that we amplify the voices of our young people, that we increase their agency. Not just girls in school, we are dealing with the Kaya years as well. My sister Aku will talk about that, what we are doing with the most vulnerable girls in communities. Right. So again, we are doing a lot to make sure that the children or the girls live in an enabling environment that they'll be able to grow up to reach their full potential.
Okay, so there's a one-day capacity building session coming up, Cube Convos Facilitation, and it's for traditional leaders in Ghana. And the theme this year is advancing the welfare of girls to attain gender equality and national development. Now, Aku, I mean, why is this important for you? Because you're with the Purim African Youth Development Platform. For you, why is an event like this important, to be engaging the traditional leaders, you know, on all of this?
Okay, so we are an implementing partner with UNFPA, and we work with Nananum and all that. And we work with teenage mothers, we work with Kayaye, and they are the most vulnerable of girls. In fact, when you look at the girls who sleep on the streets, you look at these teenage mothers who are lured with Indomie and come and watch TV and some of these little things. Sometimes when you hear the reasons why these girls sleep with the guys, I was having an interaction with one Kayaye who is now in the University of Ghana Nursing and Midwifery School, and she said that her highest aspiration in life was to get married after SHS. And then she got 6 A's and 2 B's, and then she had to, we met her and took her to the university. So
if you hadn't met her, that would have been the end of such a brilliant
Exactly. So when you look at Queen mothers, for example, they are the traditional leaders. These are the people in the community. They are the custodians of the laws. And I believe that these are the people we need to speak out and support the lives of these girls. When the girls go to the communities, it's very challenging for them. I have these girls in Bongo who we have trained. We have this Orange Girls Network, Orange. So we were asking one of the girls, why are you not, she's not able to speak out. And we're like, why are you not speaking out? She said, I'm afraid. When I go to the community, one of the communities in the Northeast, I'm afraid that I will be, there will be trouble, they will beat me up and all that. So the custodians of the land, the Queen mothers, the chiefs are people who we want. They have to, their capacity has to be built. A lot of support has to be given to them to support the girls in the communities. So that when the girls are speaking out, they know that this Queen mother is empowered. That Queen mother is empowered. And I believe that that is what will bring the transformation we are looking for. And in my interaction with Nana, she was talking about Northeast, Northern region, and that is what we need. Because when you look at where there are harmful, the highest harmful traditional practices and all that, even though we have a law against child marriage in Ghana, it is sad that these girls are still being abducted and married out forcefully. And some of the communities you go to, you don't even find some of the girls who have finished JHS. All of them by class 6, they are married out. And even in Accra, these things are happening. So I believe that it is in the right direction that the Queen mothers are engaging these girls, are being empowered themselves so that they can support the lives of these girls.
Wonderful. So Nana Hema, what are the details of this, you know, this conference? So it's a Cube Convos Facilitation, and it's a one-day capacity building session for traditional leaders in Ghana. When is it happening? Where is it happening? How can people get involved?
Okay, thank you. We have selected some Queen mothers and a few chiefs who are gender sensitive to join us in Kumasi. Anita Hotel is the venue, and that's where we're going to have Anita Hotel in Ejisu. That's where we're going to have the capacity building program. The idea is to be able to empower the traditional leaders to be able to go into the community and engage our adolescent girls. giving them safe spaces, spaces that they can feel comfortable in to have a conversation and be able to pour out their hearts and also listen to wisdom. You know, we've tried this and we had a beautiful program in Akosombo last year when we were doing International Day of the Girl Child. We had a training, similar training there, and then we had a derba at Akomufie. And you won't believe it, when we had that kind of setup, the kind of interactions that went on after the training, because the Queen Mothers who were there were now capacitated, they were now empowered to be able to engage. So we formed smaller groups and gave them girls that had that kind of interaction. Recently, when we had a program at Manfin, we had a similar situation, and you will be surprised the kind of conversations that came from the younger girls. So we realized that this is an amazing platform that we can use to engage with our girls, and you cannot give what you don't have.
Of course.
So in the first instance, we need to empower ourselves so we can now go out into the community to engage. And that is basically what we're doing. And then when we finish, we will have our highlights, which will be the International Day of the Girl Child at Durban. And we'll do that at the EDRC. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so when is it and then what time?
The program, the capacity building is 17th Monday.
Okay.
It's going to be at Anita, and that one will be from 9 o'clock. Okay. And then the next day we'll have the IEDRC program, which is at the Methodist Church. Okay. Compound, and that will be on the 18th. Okay. It will start also
Wonderful.
at 10
And people can come from all parts of the country.
Yes, of course. We are inviting people to come to the Durban. Okay. The training is specific to our royalties. So, yes, please. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm so happy that this is happening in Ejisu. Which is, of course, when we think of Ejisu, we think of
Yasantua. Yes, so, it's a woman thing.
A woman who was strong by all standards.
Yes,
is wonderful.
Yes,
thank you, ladies,
thank you so much
for joining us, and thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you for having us.
So we've been speaking with Nana Hima Adjoa-Window. She is the Executive Director of the Obaapa Development Foundation, Edem Abigail Hunu from the UNFPA, and of course, Aku Honam Kevi. She's with the Purim African Youth Development Platform, Women Doing the Most for Women and Young Girls. Let's take a break, and when we come back, the show continues.
This